Hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Now, where to begin? If you haven't seen already, I'm going to cover a little bit of that today in this video as well. Not just because other people have done it already, but it ties in with a lot of other things currently, including a Discord that I'm in with, some things they were trying to pass on to, I guess somebody knows, one of the people in the Diablo Immortal Partner Program, of which I am not. Keep that in mind, I am not. So I can't pass these things along, and I know that the devs just flat out just stopped caring and not listening anymore. So I know that's just, you know, pointless, because it's deaf ears from them anymore. Anyway, but yeah, this is a multitude of things here that we're gonna go over in generalizations here. Let's see here. Let me just bring up what. Let's start with something a little lighter, or maybe I should end on something lighter. I don't know. Anyway, this is what somebody wanted to suggest to pass along here. As you can see at the bottom, it says anything else you can think of. I, you know, blacked out their name, obviously, who they were tagging. I put it on here. Trying to talk to a friend from the Diablo Immortal Partner Program and ask them to mention this to the dev team for battleground metrics analytics. Good luck, because honestly, we all know the matchmaking algorithm in this game is shit, and it's probably one of the cheapest ones that they could have, you know, went to use to tinker with here and there. But I'm really, that's what I really want to know. But anyway, my response, of course, to that was also, yeah, have them ask the devs what the bottom barrel algorithm matchmaking system they went with, as it was probably the cheapest one, which is true. I guarantee it's true. And if they will ever do anything about gem duping, which they won't, and I said this out of sarcasm, other than just the Star Seeker event, you know, ellipsis, ... I said that purely out of sarcasm, because of course the video I did earlier on the Star Seeker event and how it was just money grubbing trash from the devs as a response to getting more out of people and to cover up their fuck up with the gem duping being an issue that they have never resolved. And, you know, the Star Seeker event was their, quote, solution to that, and which is why it just disgusts me even more. And also the main topic, I guess, of this video is going to be about watching out for pitfalls of these types of that they put in games, monetary pitfalls for free to play or, you know, spenders. And we'll get to the spenders in a minute, as you may have already know where this is going to transition to. But yeah, the topic that they put up here: total fights, total win losses, total kill death assists. You know, I did a video as well covering like an entire day's worth of end screens, just to show how they fluctuate so wildly. And then you have the ones where you get your forced losses in there, just to keep you at a certain, you know, percentage win-loss rate in the matchmaking, you know, ranks, as is intended by that system that they are using. So take it in stride, don't let it bother you too much as it sucks. Like I said in the past, it's just what it is. And let me see here, and to give another example of that, let me go over to current leaderboard. This is going to change, and at this point I don't care anymore. The other day, I had like multiple losses in a row, and I was borderline. I got all the way down to like 3,003, which is still possible for it to happen, because getting only 12 points on a win, minus 13 on a loss, can still force you back down out of Legend, unless you had a certain amount of points padded up. The top three of us here, we've been, well, 2 and 3 especially here, we've been kind of going back and forth. As far as score goes, they're second. You know, they were in second place. I did like 2 fights today so far, and that's where I'm pretty much going to keep it. I'm going to do like the bare minimum at this point, because honestly, anymore it's just kind of meh how things are going, and the matchups take like extremely longer queue times anymore. Obviously, since that CC thing went into effect, things have kind of, the CC diminishing returns went into effect, things have kind of across the community, it feels like, anyway. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the comments, of course, so we can, you know, there's multiple things we can discuss down below in this one. But yeah, the queue times seem to have increased. I'm getting like excuse me, 6 to 7 minute queue times plus, and usually when I get those long of a queue time, I get a pretty much lopsided matchup, and it's a forced loss for me. Other people have said, oh no, it's an easy win for me, and it's like, okay, you're on the other side of the coin. So it all just very depends, but in my case, I can pretty much almost gauge that out now, sadly, like clockwork, how that's gonna go. If I see, you know, if I'm breaking past 4 or 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, I know how this is gonna go. Which is sad in how predictable that has become. But yeah, anyway, so to give you an idea, here I am currently in this video anyway. This is my progress. 62% win rate as a free-to-play in Legend. I'll take it. I'm glad to have it, and you know, this is video documentation of it, and there it is, immortalized on the internet. But I'm fine with this. I could care less what anything else happens after, but you know, that's still 62%. It's not too bad. It's better than last season. So I think last season I ended up with, well, it all depends on how much before the season's out. This is probably this might even change some more depending on how much the game wants to, you know, screw us all. But here's the other interesting point. You see the win rate here between the two. You know, I got 62% and they got 52. They've passed me up into second place a couple times. You know, obviously they played some more matches recently, and I've slacked off. I'm just kind of over it, literally. But Vault, sorry, I'm busy. And Vault is another thing that I could kind of care less about anymore, and I've already stated that before numerous times. But yeah, here the win rate here, the fact that they have passed up me, and then this isn't just over here in this one, but I'll show you why. Let's go Resonance 3285. That's why, right there. End of story. Somehow I managed to stay in here, and then they're usually running like 3K something. Yeah. So, but let me go to another example here. Barbarians. Look at this. 65% win rate. They currently had probably a loss or whatever that dropped them down below first, because these are pretty close together. You know, within the minus or plus 12, minus 13 point spreads. You know, this is going to fluctuate. But yeah, 52% win rate, 43%, 59. All these are fluctuating. Well, we know what Odin, you know, has here. Massive, yeah, right there, 9650. And then this one here, let me see what they got. I never really looked at them too much. 7858. Okay, so, but yeah, there's your win rates, percentages. It's weird how, you know, things can go within a certain extent. Once you get into Legend, which these guys are not yet, they're not yet. So the point spread on anything below Legend actually is quite larger. The win-loss points. I forget what it exactly was when I was climbing, but it's definitely more than Legend. Legend, once you reach that point, it's very small gains and, you know, 1 extra point in a loss. So sometimes just not worth it. Okay, I don't want to ramble on about this too much because holy crap, I already went a lot into this. Anyway, but yeah, that brings it back. You know, let's bring these back up again. Total fun. They want this, and like I said, I did a video. I did a 10 screen. I had like a whole day. It was more than 10, I think. Actually, I had a whole day's worth in the, of the end cards showing, like, you know, what people did in the match. Sometimes I wasn't even in the top. Was it top 6 or whatever it was on the screen? That's just how it goes. But yeah, so that's that for that. Now, transitioning now since this video is going to be obviously a longer one. Unintended, but here we go. Reddit. Good old Reddit. Good old subreddit. Actually. So let's see here. What looks good? Put pet contracts in the Hilt Shop Trader. Yes, please. I like that idea. I can't pass that note along, but somebody out there, if you have a friend in the Diablo Immortal Partner Program, which is not me, do it, please. This is I very much would like to see this. They put the what you call it? The freaking I'm right next to the hill guy. Telluric pearls. They put the pearls in there. You know, 1 per week. So put the freaking pet contracts in there. You know, even if they say 2 weekly purchases, but I honestly I'd settle for even freaking 1 at this point. So do that one. Favorite DPS class, unplayable game. lag. We all know how that goes. We're not going to stay on that one for too long. Current retirement plan, trying to sell off a pet for a ton of platinum, obviously. Yeah, the market on pets is just absolutely ridiculous. So confused. And also this is still, the whole system is completely overly convoluted. It's beyond a joke at how complicated they made this on purpose to just kind of trick people out of burning through our platinum left and right. It's stupid. At this point I would have just settled for a pet to pick up my loot faster, and then they didn't get that right. They made an increase to it recently, which is, saying something, I guess, and there is improvement in it, but it's still not that great, and it still could be better. They could still crank it up a bit more. And at this point, I'd rather just have the freaking pets just do that, and all this other stuff can just go away. But it's here to stay, obviously, and that was the intention. New Shadow Quest system. Yes, yeah, the Shadow contracts are old and boring and whatever else, and they're the same ones that we've had forever, but they're not going to change that. They're not going to waste time with this. Increase purchasable Eternal Legendary Crest with Platinum. Yes. Add more of those to the one guy by the Elder Rifts, where you buy the 1 weekly orange, and then the one with the warband ticket, the purple one. Sure, add another one. They want, well, their intention with this post on Reddit here is to basically get more 5 stars on the market, because apparently they're scarce now. So it is what it is. All right, let's see. Potency should be considered for potency should be considered for battleground matchmaking. Well, and here we go about the gem dupers and whales, blah blah blah. People have already started to adjust their stats, adjust their normal gems, and slot them differently, just to kind of adjust for that according. Is what it is. Nah, that's good luck with that. They already did it supposedly for armor pen and armor, but I really don't think that made much of an impact in how that goes anyway. So I think that's a joke. Button go, nah, whatever. Advice on Maw of the Deep. No, Maw of the Deep is an annoying gem that got put into the game. Honestly, that one really wrecked a lot of things too. The after effects of gems. Starfire was already bad enough, and how, like, you'd be sitting there and just get random Starfire spam either on you or another player on your team, and then you'd get clipped by it, and it's like, what the hell, dude? Why'd you have to get so close? And that's the other thing too, when people group up too tightly in the choke points, you're literally spreading contagion amongst each other in those. So try not to stack too close together unless you're gonna get a bubble from like a satyr or something. That I understand, but other than that, try not to do that, because you're just going to spread all kinds of these after effect gems abilities on everybody, and it's just going to ruin your entire cluster team. But yeah, I've gotten hit with multiple times, like Maw and Starfire spam. Literally like 6 Maws one time went off in a row. Around me, not just from me, but from the people that were near me that were getting, the after effects that they still had on them. And it was just like, brr, 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 brr. I'm like, Is this gonna stop at some point? This is, you know, flat out ridiculous. But yeah, that kind of ruined a lot of the portion of the game and Battlegrounds as well. But of course, they're not going to do anything about that because that's their, you know, they got people to spend money on that, etc., etc., and so they're never going to touch that stuff. Attack speed, cat, no. All right, let's get down to the biggest thing here. That's I received familiar contracts in 3 damn days. Yeah, you know, no kidding about that. That's still an issue, and it still continues to be an issue. And I think that was as intended. They kind of they had to have, because when they first released them, we were getting them a little bit more frequently. Obviously, now we've fell into a drought, and that was probably done by design. Oh, this is very interesting here. I saw this one. A strange thing is happening in the European servers due to maxed out whales over other 6, 7, 8, 9K whales to not meet. They dropped their resonance to 4K. Okay, now this, there's been some arguments and some people misconceptions on like smurfing. This is what's considered smurfing, is when they drop their resonance down that much from, you know, 9K to 4K, just so they keep keep their secondary stats 6 to 7K. That's smurfing. Let's get this, you know, understanding correct here. That is what is considered smurfing. A lot of people were like getting that information like messed up, and they're not paying close enough attention, or they don't watch. They're not paying close enough attention to see enough examples of it. That is definitely smurfing, and this is the result of why. And this is in the European servers. I have to laugh at this because this has been going on over here in the NA for a while now, so this is nothing new. But yeah, so they're finally catching on over there and doing it there too. But anyway, that's what that is, and nothing's gonna change, and they can do what they want because, you know, they're the ones that spent all the money on the gems that they're not using anymore. So yeah, and a lot of them are trash, but also possibly by design after so long of the length of the life of the game so far. Unfortunately, some have just fallen off, and it's like, yeah, you wasted all that money on a trash gem just for, you know, resonance. That's fine. State of EU now. That's probably about the same thing. Where is it now? This is the big thing right here. There it is. This is the one. Permaban from this guy right here. Now, let's see if I can switch tabs. Did I get it? Oh yeah, this is all the comments to it though. There's a lot of comments I went through on this one because I was like, well, everybody was somewhat supportive, and then at some point there was a tipping point and everybody went towards the other direction. I'm not going to show all that there. Permaban, this guy spent 40K. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. I don't want to put all the rest of the stuff on there necessarily. This person supposedly spent 40K and they got their account banned, and then they put in for like a bunch of stuff. Supposedly they actually got a human response, but it was still kind of cookie cutter. But they did actually talk to, I think, an actual person, and I would imagine so, considering if they actually did spend the 40K on this. Yeah, but this is the key point I wanted to make here, along with everything else I've talked to up to this point, as far as watching out for pitfalls and traps in these monetary games. Not just this one, you know, you got your Call of Duty, you got your, you know, the skins. Oh, no. Counter-Strike skins, FIFA teams that people would pay for, that kind of stuff. All those games, not just this one, but all those games that are out there. Please, 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 be smart. Don't get caught up in this nonsense, all right? It's completely, you know, it's unregulated for sure. Unregulated. This is straight up. This is why, like in the EU, you know, they banned a lot of stuff for like games for gambling. This is straight up, you know, RNG is a form of gambling. Unregulated shit that still continues to go on. Just be wise to it, okay? Like in this guy's case, they may or may not get it back. I haven't seen a follow-up on this just yet because this is recent and it's a hot topic for everybody in, you know, across the videos right now. But it rings true. Be careful, and, you know, do not, like that 40K, could have I would put that towards my house. But no, seriously, don't fall into these pitfalls. Don't fall in these traps. I've said it, I don't know, hopefully, you know, a bunch of times, and if I have to keep saying this at like every video from here on out, I guess, I will. I'll be sure to put this in, be like, don't be like this, don't fall for these traps, please be smart, because at any point they can just literally, you know, snap their fingers like Thanos and take all your shit away, and you're left in the hole with nothing to show for it at all. This virtual stuff, yeah, you gotta, you know, tread lightly when it comes to these things. Cosmetics, you know, a little 5 here, a little 10 there, whatever. But, you know, like in the case of Diablo 4, where they were trying to push like a freaking pony for, what was it, 100, 120, 140 bucks or something stupid. Yeah, no, they can just go fuck themselves. Seriously, just be careful with what you do. Yes, it's your money, you're free to do whatever you want with it, but holy hell, keep in mind that at any point they can just turn the servers off. And in my case, the only thing I lost is time and effort. Okay, I'm willing to, you know, part with that and be content, because be like, look, you didn't rope me in, you didn't trap me into this kind of nonsense. I made the best of what I could do out of it, and I'm fine with that, and I'm walking away clean. All right, that's the key point here. Do not fall in these traps in any game. Again, not just this one, in any game. But yeah, so there we go. I know this is long, and I've bantered and rambled, but at the same time I was trying to make a series of points that the thing, we started out light, of course, with the Discord stuff, where they're like, oh, we want to track all our stuff in Battlegrounds over the season. Great, good luck with that. I doubt that's gonna happen. You're gonna have to do like me and basically record every match and, you know, get your end cards that way, and then you can do your analytics yourself at that point. And, you know, some people like to do that. They got charts and graphs I've seen in other Discords. I'm like, that's kind of sick, but hey, you do you. But no, there's that, you know. So that was the lighter note of things. Not there. I guarantee you the devs aren't gonna give a flying, you know, about it. So that's not gonna change. And also the gem duping, they're just, that's why I said that in sarcasm as a retort. Because I'm like, I know they're definitely not going to do anything about that, because I don't think they can. I don't think they know how to fix their fuck up, and they're just going to continue to try to, you know, like, well, let's see how can we market this and monetize it. Yeah. Starseeker, yeah, that's a great idea. Good job, Bob. Oh, thank you. And shaking hands all around the office. But anyway. And yeah, and then of course the darker note, of course, with that person, if indeed they had spent that much, and if indeed they are in that kind of situation, you know, there's people have suggested, you know, a lot of things they can do, like, you know, contact their, you know, congressman and whatever else and this and that, because I think they're in the States, and you know, this kind of thing, and take legal action the right way. And they were actually giving some very good points, a lot of them in there, and I was happy to see, like, oh hey, this isn't so bad. And then of course further down the comments you go, the further it starts to turn to shit, and then you're like, all right, never mind. So, but anyway, again, long story short of this, be safe with everything, especially, you know what you're doing with your own stuff. Be cognizant, be self-aware of all this nonsense that's going on, and be better and smarter than the devs and their marketing and whoever they got in these, you know, psych teams even putting this stuff together to try to, you know, siphon money out of you, because that's literally the point of a lot of this stuff, and they do have that in place. Don't make no mistake about it, they do have those things in place, and that's the whole point. You know, that's their business models, and that's what they're all about, is raking in that fat cash. But yeah, be smart, be wise, be safe, you know, in all aspects of gaming and in the real world. Again, as I always say at the end, stay safe out there in the world on fire. Catch you guys next time. See ya.